My mic sounds nice. Check one. We're checking. We're live. Hey, pepperoni in the chat. What up? What up? What up?
Hell yeah, a true homie right there.
Check, check, check. Mic check.
Mic
Okay.
check 1 2 1
We
2.
sound great.
Damn
Let's
right we do.
welcome to the Breeze Podcast. We're just gonna jump into it. Episode number 230. I'm Adrian. That's David. What up, David?
Hell yeah. Apparently, PlayStation Indie event starts tomorrow. Interesting.
Silk Song?
Maybe.
People are just mashing or just spamming Silk Song in the indie world.
Never gonna happen.
Yeah, I want that game to come out just so I can get people to shut the fuck up now because it's getting really annoying. Also, Suicide Squad says, "Hey, pepperoni." We're getting that. We're getting news about Suicide Squad finally. Hopefully they fix it. Wait. Oh, that's something we're not gonna talk about the news. We forgot to mention, or we're not gonna mention, but whatever. Is Warner Brothers, I guess mentioned in a quarter briefing or whatever that they're doing just strictly monetization games now.
Disgusting.
Yep. Unfortunate. You would think people would learn by now after however many failed games that there's just not enough room in the market to consistently put out all these games that they have.
No, it's because of the fact that every company thinks they're gonna be the one to break the mold and make it okay.
Yeah, shouts to we're not gonna mention Amazon laying off people too, and again, there's a
Yeah,
bunch of
big company did too.
it's a bunch of people that just keep making this
You
making
chunky bastard.
they keep putting out like stuff in the games industry, and they're assuming there should be a quick profit. There won't be. April Bernie says it was paired up with the Coyote versus Acme News. I was pissed. Yeah, so that's unfortunate too. I had a friend that worked on that movie. You heard about that?
No.
So there was a Coyote versus Acme live action Looney Tunes movie with John Cena. That was actually filmed in Albuquerque, and I had some friends work on it, which they were bummed out because apparently it was like really good. Apparently it tested really well. Just Warner Brothers just feels like it's probably gonna be easier to write it off and get the tax break on that. I'm hearing. I think I heard last. I don't know if it was true or not. That they're open to shopping it out and seeing if anyone wants to take it up. Which I hope they do because it looks it looks interesting. Some footage was put out about it, and it looked like just a fun little romp with just a bunch of shenanigans going on there. But another casualty, and Warner Bros. Just writing shit off.
I don't get that mentality though. Like I get that it's a thing, but like at a certain point, once it's done, like just fucking put it out there. Who cares?
Well, because you have to market it still, which is gonna take that's usually
Disney doesn't.
double
When
the
Disney
budget.
wants shit to tank, they don't fucking market anything.
Yeah. So well, the problem is that then it wouldn't make anything versus the profit it makes is technically the tax write off that they would get back. So like they'd have to invest however much money, which usually double the budget for marketing on movies, and then they have to expect all that back and then enough to cover over the tax write off. And then let's see, a couple of people in the chat here. Right, they weren't going to be before, but after the backlash, both online people who were working on with it with WB, they decided to let the creators shop it around. Yeah, which is unfortunate. Which I hope it works out because again, I heard pretty good things about it. I had a friend that recorded it because it was recorded out here in Albuquerque. So hopefully it happens. Kel's issue is WB has no money. This is true too. They're broke bitches.
Yeah.
Warner broke.
Or Disney can afford to just be like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, but they won't because then they're gonna be looked at like, all right, you have too many people now. But yeah, so we're gonna not really bring up a lot of that stuff. But let's jump into it. And see how see how it goes. I'm not sure if the Game Awards talk will be long or not, but let's just see. Let's get through. David, what'd you get this week?
What did I get this week? So I got my first Japanese GameCube game. I'm actually surprised with how tiny the packaging is. Aw, your own little orange stuff there.
Yep.
If only we had both of them on screen at the same time, but he got mad and ran away.
Yeah, because they can't be in the same room with only one brain cell and the Earth will explode.
True. I actually would have been far okay if Nintendo had kept the aesthetic of the Japanese GameCube games for North America. The only thing that sucks is I hate the fucking shitty slipcover that their games have. So I got One Piece Grand Battle 3, but they have
Yeah,
like a
those
shitty
covers suck,
slipcover.
dude. I'm
And
not
it's
about
like,
it.
if you just had this tiny little package and just had it as a regular case, like that's clean. That's
I disagree with.
compact.
I
I dig it.
disagree. I hate the black bar in the top corner. It looks photoshopped.
Yeah, but that's why you display it on this side.
Doesn't matter. Whenever I want to show it off and show people how much money I have, then what am I gonna do? Show them a Photoshop looking case?
Your Photoshop looking case. Aside from that, I got this for $2, purely because of the meme of it. It is a running joke, as we mentioned during last episode, between the two of us when it comes to Pompeii. And I saw this game, and I'm like, I need that in my collection. And it is Timescape Pompeii.
So you'll always know how to
Johnny
spell it.
Pompeii. I will always know how to spell it now, instead of thinking that's a Roman numeral 2. So that is a fun addition to my collection, purely for the meme. And then lastly, this came in finally. It's kind of interesting how this game exists. I look forward to digitally playing it, because I'll probably just keep this sealed in box. And that is Hime's Quest,
You
the
almost
Crunchyroll.
Almost crushed that shit just by dropping it.
I did. But yeah, so this is the Zelda clone by Crunchyroll.
Good for them.
And I got the limited run variant specifically of it, that is the orange, just because I do like the orange. No, actually, the orange is the Crunchyroll variant. That's right, because limited runs was the blue variant. Either way, I got it in the Crunchyroll color. Try to one day eventually play that. Looks pretty slick, and it's kind of nice having a sealed Game Boy Color game.
Now,
again.
honestly, in the deepest part of your heart, do you think you're actually gonna play it one day in your life, or you think it's gonna be just one of those games that just stays there?
No, it's definitely one I'll probably get to. As mentioned, it's a Zelda-like, really trying to capture that vibe of Link's Awakening. And Link's Awakening is one of my favorite Zelda games. So any games that's trying to capture the feel of that, fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
I mean, that was kind of one big thing I did with Extra Life, was trying to finally go through like my Metroidvania backlog. And I feel like that's gonna be something that every year I'm gonna try to slowly start to incorporate. Is just picking a genre and going through my backlog of that genre.
Sure.
And definitely Zelda style games are going to be one that I want to start going through.
Sure.
Aside from that, I do believe that is everything.
Cool. All right. Forgot to show these games off last week. I have some more in the mail, but for now, I forgot to show this off. I got that last week. Armored Core 6.
Yeah.
Did the buy two get one from Target? Where you can just try to cancel two of them, it'll work out. But really quick before I go to the next one, says, a Zelda game you recommend to someone who's only played Breath of the Wild, David?
Ooh.
Tears of the Kingdom. Next question.
Yes. I mean, unironically, yes. But it really kind of depends what other games you enjoy. Armored Core does look so insane. I'm excited for it. I'm waiting for it to be around $20. Then I'll grab it.
I think I grabbed it for 35, which was fine with me. That was.
It's getting to where I will grab it. I love me some Armored Core, but goddamn, I gotta not buy so many games that release unless they are like budget release titles.
That's been my MO this whole time though. Actually I'm not gonna show it because I have juice on me. I have a Spider-Man 2. Got that for $40. Armored Core, $35. Super Mario Wonder, $40. Alan Wake, we got the discount, so it was like what, like after, and I got the digital deluxe, so it comes with the season pass for the DLCs. That was like $55, $60. So any games I got near launch, I'm just not getting a full price. That was my kind of roll at the beginning of the year. I broke it maybe once or twice, I think. But for the most part, I'm sticking through with it. I did order P5 Tactica, but I forgot that is going to be on Game Pass. So I canceled that. I grabbed it for $38, but I'm going to hold back until I just find it for super cheap, since I'm going to try to play it through Game Pass.
I don't remember if I got the collector's edition for that or not. I think if I got the collector's edition, I'll hold on to it. The problem is I can't look at my Amazon right now because Leah's been going through and doing birthday and Christmas shopping, so I can't look at anything without risking ruining a surprise.
Can't she just like order on her own?
Oh, we merged our Amazons to save money, so that way we're not fucking hammering away so much Amazon Prime shit.
Oh, that's fair. Uh,
Amazon Prime's fucking expensive, man.
I forget about that. That's one of the ones that just let roll, just because why not? But yeah. April says I gotta let me get through some Baldur's Gate 3 first for Armored Core. That's fair. I interrupted you a while back, David. I forgot what you were gonna say, and I interrupted you on that. My bad.
It's all good.
I said something about Armored Core anyway.
I think it was more just about that. Definitely gonna get to it, but waiting for it to be around $20, and I'll grab it.
Let's see. I forgot to show this off. I have this thing. Was my Elite Series 2 controller, which I bought buttons for it a while back, but I didn't realize there were only Series 2 exclusive buttons, so I decked out my controller in that classic Xbox slimy green with the buttons on there now. So that's cool. My original one that came in here, so I fucked up, kind of. When I ordered this off Verizon, it got here and it was opened already. Like the box was clearly opened. The controller was still looked okay, but like you could tell it's been used at least once or twice. I had a brain moment and just thought that the paddles were missing because like there were open slots there, not realizing that the paddle slots are there for you to remove off the Xbox One. So I took that back to Verizon. They swapped it out for me. I realized I could just use that one, but I don't like using a used controller. Like if I spend $100 on a controller, that bitch better be brand new. So
yeah.
So I got that one. That's cool. Did I get anything else on the top of my head for here? Aside from digital stuff, which I'm not gonna list off. Nope. Dave, what'd you play?
Hell yeah. I've been sick for the last few days, so fuck all.
Fair. Hey, David. I'm gonna propose something because I've been in a bit of a tired gaming funk, and I promise this is the last time we're gonna do this because I will do my best. Dave, I'm gonna propose that we push Silent Hill to November 27th because I have Thanksgiving week off, and I would like to continuously play Alan Wake 2 because I am having the time of my life during that game. And I will tell you right now, I will, as much as I'm sure I'm gonna like Silent Hill, I will be bummed if I have to step away from Alan Wake 2 right now for Silent Hill. If we need to push back and reorder something, I don't mind when. I just don't want to do it next week.
Yeah, because otherwise we're gonna then have 3 games in December, one of which being Nier.
November 27th, and then we're gonna have Beginner's Guide, Her Story.
Her Story, Beginner Guide.
Okay, how about this? We're gonna reshuffle order, but I just definitely don't want to do it next week. Is what I'm saying.
That's fair.
Okay, so we're cool with that. We'll talk about it this next episode. I promise. We'll figure out.
This is the most cursed season.
It is. I've been very personally tired and stuff. I've been focusing on with my own life, which has been good. But I've been focusing on that, and I'm having a fucking amazing time with Alan Wake, which we'll talk about in a second. And I don't want to feel hampered by detouring from that into that. And I have a whole ass week off for Thanksgiving break with my family's not doing anything. I have people out that they're not going to be around. So I straight up have a whole ass week to myself. And I promise I will get done with games then. So I'm spending time doing that. So we'll figure out what happens and we'll knock out some. In fact, like I can even, like I could picture us if we have a day off just doing a double episode in one day of Beginner's Guide and Her Story, because we did that kind of with Iron Lung and what was it?
Resident Evil.
Yeah, so I don't mind doing that again, but yeah, it's cursed, but we'll figure it out. And also, episodes haven't necessarily been uploaded yet, so it's fine.
Yeah, we'll figure that out then. I think that just initial thought process, I'd rather push back the 2 little games into like some other month down the line. Maybe we even just have like
Okay.
a month of like small titles.
Proposal. Because I'm doing Her Story for my class, I'm gonna play Her Story anyway. So that stays in December. How about we move Beginner's Guide to January? Because that's only Persona 5, and we've already, like we mentioned before, we already have Persona 5 on lock, and that's an hour and a half game in the middle of the month.
Yeah, that would be good to do that.
Okay, so there we go. Problem solved. Crisis averted. But yeah, anyway, so I just want to get that out of the way, just throw it out there. I just don't want to kill my mojo with Silent Hill. I feel very excited for that game, but I'd want to give it the most it can, which is why we delayed it so long from last time. Where we want to get you in a good headspace. I want to be in a good headspace and be like clear at my mind and play that game. So we'll knock that out when we do. But there you go. I'd be very surprised if Alan Wake 2 wins Game of the Year. We'll talk about that. But David, that's all I got. So what'd you play? Did we mention that already?
Yeah, that's what what led to this conversation. Yeah, you're not tired at all.
Yeah, I'm not. Did you play anything else? I don't know.
I didn't play anything, my guy.
I'm tired. Dude, I'm so every teacher over here is burnt the fuck out. We're tired. We're just like, we just need to fucking live until this break, dude. So I've been playing I played a tiny bit of Wonder, not even thing enough to talk about. But Alan Wake 2, David. Okay.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh, I'm doing the thing. We mentioned this last week. I'm doing the thing that I hate doing, that you hate doing, which is like savoring it. Who the fuck cares about savoring the shit?
Exactly. Just fucking plow through the shit.
If it's gonna be a fucking great time, it's gonna be a great time. I'd rather just live in that fucking world and have it all encompassing instead of like savoring it. Like what the fuck else? Who the fuck savor shit? I unintentionally am savoring it because I've been fucking exhausted. I get through about a chapter apart and I'm tired. I gotta go lay down or I gotta go do something else. That's just been so. I've been hopping on. Shout out to Kels. Kels is there like every fucking stream, which is awesome. Kels is just popping in there and just watching me go through the game. Kind of give me like a little prepper of like, oh shit, you're about to hit the part. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm about to hit the part. And so it's been a great time just like dipping in for like about an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours tops, and then I'm out. I want to fix that. And I really want to barge it. Like if I could barge it, I would barge it. Let me make that record straight. If I could call off tomorrow and just like sit down and play the entire game, I would do that right now. But hey, Kel says teaching Adrian algebra was fun. Yeah, that's what happened today. So I've been piecing it out, but holy fuck, David. Every time I play this game, it's fucking incredible. And I just keep thinking, I'm like, I'm about like, Kels, how far would you say I'm in the game? Maybe am I about to hit about halfway through? Am I halfway through? Am I around there somewhere? Every time I'm just like thinking about this game, I'm just like, what the fuck's gonna happen next? I don't know what the fuck's happening next. And I go into the game, and this is like, yeah, Kels, I'm close to halfway through, and right now this game is taking over my life. I cannot get the fuck ahead of them, and it's infuriating in a fucking satisfying way because I don't know what the fuck's happening. Every time something happens, and I'm like, what the fuck did that come from? Today I booted up the stream. If you're curious and don't care about spoilers, watch the beginning of my stream today on twitch.tv/Depunked. The thing I booted up today was literally not even an iota of a thought that would have happened in this game. There is not a molecule, a fraction of that I would have thought it was like, oh, watch, they're going to do this. No, I had like a little thought pop in my brain for a second when I saw a certain character doing something that was kind of dorky. I was like, that's funny. And then this whole thing just fucking, and I was like, holy shit, this is incredible. I cannot stop thinking and talking and wondering about this game, dude. It's so meticulously well crafted. It keeps you on your toes at every fucking step. It's just keeping you on your toes. I like all the characters. It's like all the twists, all the turns, all the callbacks you get. And then there's so much shit tied to control where it's like, Kel was saying that, I was like, because I saw the first thing, I was like, I'm sure you can enjoy the game if you play it without that. But like, if you have to play it with this stuff. Kel said that they know someone that played without having played one at all and really liked it still. which I'm like, cool. I love that for them. I don't know what I would think if I played this game without any context. I'd be, what the fuck is going on? This is fucking weird. But like, if you know, you know. And it's just shit. But then, like, even if you know, you still don't know because I'm like, what the fuck who is this person? Who the fuck are they? Why is this person here? What the fuck is going? Like, and it's funny that's Twin Peaks apparently too, which is like, what the fuck is happening? Why is this person doing this? What the fuck is the point? And there's a point. It's just like Jesus Christ. But dude, I am so fucking enamored with this game. This was. I don't know if I said this right. I've been a little cranky at work, and I've made fun of some students in a really harsh way that I had to retract. I had to bring back. I'm not gonna say what I said. I'll tell you off air. But I had to bring back and say, just so you know, I don't mean what I'm saying by what I just called you. I'm just joking to get your attention, and they understood. Okay. I hope. It's like I'm not trying to get in trouble with them. They hope they understand. I really do care. I'm a little cranky, but also like I need to jab you awake because I'm getting senioritis. I'll say this. I'm getting senioritis, and I genuinely hear. Let me roll back a little bit. Am I snarky in the classroom? 100%. Am I sassy? 100%. Am I a bit of a bully, but like in a fun, loving way? Yes. I do know that I'm also teaching seniors, and senioritis is real. So I've been mentally preparing myself to like just like hammer it in with these guys because there's so much, like our dropout rate is bonkers, and I'm like, don't be a dumbass. Do not drop out senior year, please don't. And I had one student. I guess I'll just say it. Fuck it. I had one student who is burning out bad right now, and I'm like, I have a presentation. I was like, I have a project for you to do. Just do a PowerPoint and present it. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm like, just do it. I'm not gonna do that. What's my grade gonna be if I get a 0? I was like, it's gonna fucking suck. That's what's gonna happen. Do the work. No. I'm like, ugh. And then he just kept saying no, and I tell him this. I'm like, look, dude, stop being a lazy piece of shit and work on this. I said it that way. I was just sorry. Stop being a fucking lazy piece of shit. And everyone's like, oh. And I'm like, but really, stop it and do your work. Because like, and try
to drop out. Like, fuck it.
Yeah, and should I not have said that? No.
So you can't say that to a kid, but
yeah, should I not have? No. Is it intense? Yes. Also, like, is it could I get in trouble for that? Probably. But is it also me trying to, in a way, also be like, hey, wake the fuck up and like get your stuff done because you do not want to get an F senior year? Yeah, that's also my way of like, because that woke his ass up because he was sleepy. And he was like, what the fuck you call me? I'm like, all right, we're good. Doing that, I'm using a spray bottle on these students when they're on their phones. I've been need to chill out a little bit. The break can't come soon enough. But actually, this is a true quote though. So when we were talking, I showed them the Game of the Year nominees for Game Awards, and the first thing I heard was, I don't know why Alan Wake 2's up there without missing a beat. I was like, because this is the best game released this year. And all you heard was like a 2-second pause. That's fair. Oh man. It's gonna be my game of the year. I'd be shocked if anything else debunks it. I could see Baldur's Gate giving it a fair go just by pure just the quality of writing, but
knowing you, I think that this will probably be on top for this year, genuinely.
It's literally hitting me at my most peak interest. It's like fire. It's like a game like this. Games gone by, like for as cursed as it has been, me having to go back and play Alan Wake, American Nightmare, Control is giving me one of my top 10 games this year because of that, which is like incredible.
They just gave you like a hype train to ride right into it.
Dude, yeah, you heard me on the fucking retrospective. I'm already in here. I'm jumping into Twin Peaks. I'm all doing this. I'm like in on it. And then Sam Lake just fucking flops his dick on the table and says, let's just do more of this. And I'm like, you're fucking nuts, dude. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I wish you could join me on this journey, and I know you can't. I know because I get it. I get it. But like, I don't know. Like at some point, I'm like almost like, hey, if you want to borrow my fucking Epic account and just play the game and just see how you think of it, just to see what I'm seeing.
No, just wait till next year. Make it a games gone by game.
Like fuck right off with whoever you said that was like, oh, the review. Fuck them. Listen to me. Listen to your friend. This game is fucking nuts, dude. Like it, even if you don't vibe with anything else about it, it's just such a fucking amazing refreshing type of sequel, which is gonna hinder Spider-Man 2 because it's such a traditional sequel, right? Like it's like, all right, played Spider-Man, played Miles Morales. Here's both of them in Spider-Man 2. Cool, you're gonna get what you get. I'm sure it's gonna be a fun time. I'm sure you're gonna have a great time. I'm gonna love it. But like Alan Wake 2 is on a fucking crazy caliber of like sequel. It's like probably exactly how I'm gonna sound. I'm gonna have the same exact talk with you guys next month when we're talking about Nier and we talk about how like Nier and Nier Automata is a sequel. This is kind of like where I'm going with this sequel stuff, where it's like it's such a fucking, it's such a mind bender of a sequel. It's so cool because it's like, and I love when writers do the thing where they're like, we definitely want this story. If it came out when we wanted to, would have been different. We're gonna take in the fact that it's been 15 years since that game, and we're gonna add that into the story, which I love. I'm like, everyone's like, man, we haven't seen you in 13 years, and everyone's like, hey, I haven't either. What the fuck? Where have you been? It's like it's just meta like that, and I love it, dude. It's so good. Um, we might need to talk. Like if it comes down to me having let you borrow my Epic account, then we can talk about it and figure it out. Because
No, like genuinely, I think if I might give it a try next year, unironically, even if we don't do the gag of having it be for Games Gone by next year, I think I'm gonna need to experience it away from all the hype around it. Is the thing.
I am
I
so
think right now
glad.
I'm so
Sure, but I am so it, dude. It deserves it. Holy fuck! Like this game deserves all the hype that it's been getting. I'm so glad because it's like Remedy. It's kind of how I feel with like Sekiro, right? It's like, yeah, Remedy's gotten some accolades for its games coming up here, sure. Sekiro was the first like game that it's like, oh, okay, finally FromSoft has gotten some recognition, right? Talking like with Control too, right? Like, okay, Remy's getting it. And now the sequel, when you talk about Elden Ring with after Sekiro, when you talk about Alan Wake 2 after Control, it's like, oh, they're here. They're here now. Like, we're good. Um, I just love it. It's just like it deserves all the hype, and I'm so glad it's here. To reel it back real quick, April says, "You remind me of my art teacher. Very much a jokester, but still serious at what he's doing. Yeah, I'll fuck around with everyone, but like everyone also knows that like if shit gets real, I will figure out something for the class and I'll talk to you outside for like an hour, like a therapist. Genuinely, I call the what was it? One of my students and I were having a pretty deep talk, and she goes, yeah, I just don't. I don't know, like I don't really like therapy. I just like talking to my mom. It's been cool talking to my mom, like being able to like vocalize things with her, kind of like how I do with you. I'm like, well,
yeah.
thanks. Cool. Alan Wake 1 Games Gone By was perfectly timed, to be honest. Thanks for that, boyos. Yeah, dude. I couldn't be more ecstatic about like just the quality of like the creativity that's just roaming in my brain right now, just from sheer just so much Lynch shit in my head right now. It's fucking nuts. like it's like Twin Peaks, and I'm only like still on a couple episodes into Twin Peaks, but it's like I'm just full on living this shit right now, which is incredible. I do want you to play it because like even if you don't vibe with it, even if you think it's stupid or something like this, I just promise you this: gameplay is better. Gameplay is 100% better. Less of it, I feel like, but like kind of it's more atmospheric and tension. It almost feels like probably what the first game should have been, where it's acts like psychological action game. This is literally probably more like where that is, where it's like, yeah, it's definitely it fucks with you a little bit, which is cool. The fucking board, like piecing together the board stuff is so satisfying and it's so much fun. Twists and turns, you get more about characters you knew from the first game. Then you get like returning ones. You're like, oh fuck, what the fuck are you doing? It's like it's so nuts. It's amazing. I love it. I think Kel's asked, how can I explain what you just went through to people that I don't want to spoil the game to? I think I said it was Alan Wake 2 is very genre bending in ways that you would not have expected. And let me just leave it like that. That's all I'm gonna say. I can't wait to play this. I can't wait to beat this game. I can't wait to dive into videos about this game. I can't wait to hear everyone's like speculation. I can't wait for the DLC. Everything about this game is firing on all cylinders. That if a game manages to beat this game out for Game of the Year, then that game deserves like the highest tiered echelon award, because you're hard pressed to take this thing down for me. It's like Remedy has to shoot themselves in the foot hard at the end for me to like drop the ball on it. But I everyone that's beaten it has been happy with it. Kels has been there, beat the game, and still follow along enjoying it. I I don't see how they're gonna drop the ball. So I'm excited for that. There, I got my spiel about Alan Wake too.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, David. Let's jump into news then, right?
All right.
Since I kind of mentioned it, and you kind of mentioned a little bit, you want to talk about Game Award stuff?
Yeah, we can start with that.
Cool. So let me pull out the nominees. David, I know you don't really care too much about this. All you care about is
I have zero fucks considering they're all the same game.
same game.
There's like the same 4 games in every category. Like if they
Oh,
could
by
have put
that, I
Alan Wake
thought-
2 and Super Mario
But
in best sports game, they would have.
But that, so I mean, okay, I thought you meant like same game as in they're all the same game. Who the fuck cares?
No,
I was
no,
gonna
no.
say, holy
I mean,
shit.
like, literally the same games are in every category, just about. And I feel like they usually try to get more variety. And in a year where there's been a lot of absolute fucking bangers, it's disgusting how homogenous this is.
I disagree. I think creating diversity for the sake of it diminishes the award. I think if you're like, well, we gave that game a lot of accolades, we got to give it to something else. I think you're kind of taking away from the fact that game was just decisive. I understand what you're saying though. Let's see. Abraham says, "Man, I feel like Hi-Fi Rush kind of got snapped for Game of the Year. No offense. I don't know if I'd put Super Mario Wonder in there. That's fair. I think. I think David's frozen. David, you alive? David's not alive. All right. So we'll run this through and see when David comes back or decides to come back. Let me run through some of these awards here. Actually, let me go through the Wikipedia. Wikipedia is gonna be one more or a better spot for all this stuff. Uh-oh, Jeff Keighley took over David. Yeah, Jeff Keighley heard that David didn't like this, and he heard that he was onto his whole thing about how the Game Awards are a sham, and they're dead. Unfortunately, there he is.
Hell yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
What part did you last hear me off of?
That it would be disingenuous to not include the same things and other things because of how hard they genuinely work towards those categories, but you understand the concern.
I get that. Like, I get this game. This year is stacked. This year is quite like I believe. I think without roasting and glasses, I think you could say this is the best year in gaming. If you want to have like actual like go back into your first personal favorites, there's definitely some banger years, but like
I was gonna say 97 is still a hard year to beat for fucking game releases.
see, but like here's my thing when you factor time in, right? Like if you put like a gamer right now, like you're talking like late teens, even like early 20s, and get them the games from 97 and get them the games from now, they're not gonna like not all planes hit evenly, right? But like we all have our favorites still, which is totally cool. But I think yeah, neighbor said it'd be funny if David was still just being super still for the sake of it. If a game came out and just killed it, then fuck it, like let them have it. So, were there any surprises, David? Because I feel like there was one surprise for you, at least when it came to this.
No?
The fact that you thought 3 games were the only ones that were going to make it on the list, and one of them did not actually.
What one didn't get on?
Starfield is not nominated for Game of the Year.
Oh yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. In fact, no Xbox Studio games are on this list. Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
Which whatever. I don't know. I don't really care too much about that.
I mean, I think for once, at least logically, that fucking makes perfect sense. I'm surprised at least it didn't get into like the RPG category, but for once, shocked to see that there's fucking standard. No, it is in the RPG category. So yeah, Starfield is there. I don't know what people are bitching about then.
Well, originally that's not Game of the Year, but also like there's been some like pretty astonishing snubs on here. April Marie said when you were gone that they feel like Hi-Fi Rush kind of got snobbed for Game of the Year, but they don't know that they put Super Mario Wonder on there, which I think is fair. Kells said Starfield and Hogwarts aren't nominated. Kind of weird, but not upset about it.
I don't think Hogwarts not being there isn't weird at all. I think the industry wants to step the fuck away from that one. That's one that if it's part of the event in any major capacity, that in itself would cause so much of a riot, regardless of whether you think it's earned or
Justified.
not.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
believe it is. I think that's kind of unfortunate, but I don't think that was it either. I just think it got outbeat. If this was a lighter year, I think for sure Hogwarts Legacy takes a stab at it. But this is a stacked year. We're talking like I think the biggest snub for sure was FF16. That was the one that is pretty tragic, I think, and not having someone that played it, but hearing all the positive buzz about it, that one's the biggest thing. So you want to talk about? Let's talk about Game of the Year, I guess, and we'll come back down and look at the interest stuff. Otherwise,
Sure.
Game of the Year: Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I nailed that. Aside from I put Starfield in for Resident Evil 4. I think people were kind of upset about Resident Evil 4 being up there. I don't know if I mentioned it. I forget if I did or not. I understand, right? Because it's a remake.
Yeah.
We're talking about a remake in Game of the Year during a year of just like bangers. However, this is a remake of one of the greatest games of all time, which is not just a shoe in to just make it, right? It wasn't just a clear new coat of paint. It was like a lot of new stuff.
Yeah, it felt like a whole different game, you had said.
I wouldn't say, no, I actually disagree. I would say it's a whole new game. Resident Evil 2 from Resident Evil 2 OG is definitely a whole new game. Resident Evil 4, it's definitely got a whole new, like, it's got a whole new page, it's got a whole new engine. It's like, it's got the skeleton there, but like everything else is beefed up. And part of me, again, everyone knows, if you listen to this podcast, Resident Evil 4 OG is like one of my all-time favorite games forever. Resident Evil 4 the remake can for sure supersede that, just by nature of being a better game. I find something so satisfying personally about one of my all-time favorite games coming back in one of the most stacked years of video games, flopping Instastick on the table and being like, I'm still here, boys. You can't beat me. I'm still here. Leon's still here, baby. So it's like I find it kind of nice. I think just seeing Resident Evil 4 still fighting the battle. It's still able to keep up with the big boys, which is cool with me. But I do understand why people would have an issue with that. But yeah, so that's a solid list. I know I was listening to Neo GameSpark was streaming a little while ago. He was mentioning that he thinks Spider-Man 2 shouldn't be on here, and I would wager that if Spider-Man 2 was out earlier this year, it could have been snubbed. I think if you
just
swap,
because of the recency bias.
I think recency bias played a bit into that. I think if and I almost Wonder 2. I think Alan Wake 2, and this is not me trying to be biased. Genuinely, I think it just brings the most freshness of those three. I think recency bias played a big one. I think they're all deserving. It's fine. Like, they're all there. They're fine. But I think if you swap like Mario and like Final Fantasy 16, I think Final Fantasy 16 wins or gets in. I think that's kind of where it's at with that. But otherwise, what do you think of that list of games though? Just ignore the other nominees. Ignore that. Where do you think? Where do you think that list lands?
I'm indifferent. I'm surprised, honestly, if anything, to see Super Mario Brothers Wonder there. I feel like just based on my own kind of passing knowledge, because I still haven't really played much on the Switch side of things lately. But again, putting the recency bias into effect, I wonder if Kirby would be there if the release dates had been reversed, considering how beloved Kirby was at launch.
Kirby... What Kirby?
The one that came out early in the year where Kirby eats the car.
That was last year, David.
Was it last year? I thought it was this year.
Yeah, you're thinking there was a Kirby one this
See,
year.
that's why I don't care that much, because I don't even know what the fuck was this year.
Kirby Return to Dreamland was the remake of the Wii game, and that came out this year. You're thinking Kirby and the Forgotten City, and that was last year.
Yeah, I thought that was this year.
Yeah, that was last year. But I see your
Yeah.
point stands in that, where it's like, yeah, that game came out right there. People loved it. I'm sure would have snuck on there for that. And Kel says Mario and Spider-Man are 100% recency bias. I think so too. I think they're perfectly deserving. I think they're fine. I think they both, even if earlier in the year would have a shot at it, but I think those two slots were kind of just like interchangeable depending on who released when.
The other thing that honestly I am a little bit of kind of disappointed is that Street Fighter 6 isn't here. Like, in all earnesty, I think if ever there was 1 year for a fighting game to make it into Game of the Year, this should have been it.
Hey, what? Smash was in there once.
Like I said, a fighting game.
So that's kind of my. I would hop Resident Evil 4 out for Street Fighter 6, if only because Street Fighter 6 is the highest caliber of fighting game I think has ever released. I think it's the most polished. You have a whole ass story mode in there. It takes a while. Everything about it just flows and feels good. I'm if Street Fighter 6 can't make it into Game of the Year, I just don't think there will ever be a fighting game that will ever make Game of the Year.
Same.
Which is unfortunate, right? So like that's what I'm saying. So like if we can, if you would have to like play favorites like that, then yeah, you swap that in. But I think at the end of the day, it is what it is when it comes to how the media perceives Game of the Year stuff on that. But overall, like I think the list is still banger. Like I think you can't get a more solid list than that. I think
you can't look at a more solid list of games I have not fucking played this year.
You haven't played a single one of them, huh?
No, I haven't. Technically, Resident Evil 4 is because I played the original, but that's it.
Yeah, so Kel said Diablo 4 not being nominated for the Big Game Awards is kind of crazy. Say what you want about Live Awards and Blizzard, but I had fun with it. The issue was, if Blizzard didn't fuck it post-launch, 1,000,000,000% that Resident Evil 4 spot would have been Diablo 4.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's amazing the night and day difference it was talking to people on Diablo 4 launch and then talking to people like a month or two later.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, it's one of the games that you do consistently play. So if you do have a more tainted view of it, then like that's what that's your most recent memory, right? You're not going to go back and erase those memories. And be like, all right, what would I play at launch though? Because that is what it is, right?
Yeah, because that's the interesting part about the era we live in now, where it's no longer just, well, that was a complete experience that I played and get to look back on. It's no, everything continues to evolve and grow because that's what, unfortunately, we as gamers decided we want to spend the most time consuming and keep endorsing companies to make. And
Cal said to be fair, they haven't touched it since beating it, which is fair. Yeah, you got the top tier experience, and that experience, if that was it, would lead to it being Game of the Year. It really matters that a game consistently stays strong. It doesn't mean that just because it released good, it ends bad. I think we can reverse that too with when we think of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Survivor or whatever, where that game launched like a piece of shit. Polish it up and it's great now, but just because that was an impression that lasts, it's not going to qualify.
Yeah.
And then Starfield, it was a pretty it was well received, but not critically well received, right? Like it were not highly received, I should say, or something like that, because it was like solid 7 to 8s. Which is great, and I'm sure in like 3 or 4 years, like as Bethesda does, all right, the game's gonna be fantastic in that time. But the game wasn't stellar the entire way through.
Bethesda RPG, it's exactly what we have come to expect from every release since basically Skyrim.
Right. When you look at Baldur's Gate 3, Act one.
Peak.
Act 1 was incredibly well received. Full release comes out, also incredibly well received. Therefore, shoe in. Probably going to be game of the
A
year.
game that continues to constantly just get better. The amount of dedication to bug fixing and patching is something that is insanely unheard of, to the degree that they go ahead and have been trying to further refine the game.
Right. And so, like, which by the way, I think that's shoe in. I don't know. I could. The only two games I could see potentially like poking at Baldur's Gate are Alan Wake and Tears of the Kingdom. I think Baldur's Gate runs away with it though.
Same.
The Golden Joystick Awards happened. Baldur's Gate ran away with that one. Man, in a world, I would love to see Alan Wake 2 win it, but I just don't think it has it in it. The Baldur's Gate 3 was just a behemoth, which GSP is upset about that being nominated because he just never played it because it's PC oriented. He said that's not mainstream.
What?
Just DSP-isms. Let me see what else is interesting under here. Hi-Fi Rush, I do agree. Going back to April or anything, I think that I think had the second most nominations, right behind Alan Wake and Baldur's Gate, was Hi-Fi Rush. Bummer that didn't get through there. I think that who was it? Was it Nick Nack? Remember them? Nick comes around still.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, he gives us stuff. I was talking to him, or I didn't talk to him, but I saw him on Twitter. Definitely, he was bummed that Bomb Rush Cyberpunk just got nothing, which is a bummer.
Not familiar with that one.
That was like the Jet Set Radio inspired game. That was very well received.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm sorry. I'm not. I shouldn't say it, but I'm gonna say it. Anyone that was saying that Pikmin 4 was snubbed, that's tough. This is a tough year. I don't want to tell you.
Yeah, suck. I don't know. Just maybe have better taste in games.
No. You know what was snubbed, David, was Octopath Traveler 2.
I didn't even realize that wasn't in fucking RPG.
Nope. That shit got
That's fast.
Mega snubbed, dude.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. At the same time though, that's one I'll definitely say, yeah, Sea of Stars definitely fucking deserves to be there. I eventually really need to play that. Liza P being there surprises me,
that should
honestly.
have been action adventure, I think. It's a Souls-like.
Yeah, that's not really. I mean, technically, Souls games are action RPGs, but it's like, oh man, it's kind of like all rectangles are squares, but all squares are rectangles. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or is it the other way around? You know what I'm getting at the heart at, where it's like, yeah, technically it's true to say it's an action RPG, but that's not the heart of the game. So it is a little weird to see that there. I still need another game I need to eventually get around to playing, but I don't know. I think that this year had a lot of steep competition for role-playing games, so you could have gone ahead and put something else though that's more in line, especially considering in action adventure we have fucking Alan Wake 2 there, and fucking Resident Evil 4. Like, I get it. Yes, again, technically they are action games, but motherfucker, what is the point of having action adventure and then going ahead and having horror and having the same games in both categories there?
Do you know what because we mentioned this with Gore a lot. You remember what their differentiation was between action and action adventure categories?
No.
Action was a focus directly on gameplay. Action adventure was a focus on gameplay and narrative. It's a weird category. So you're saying like all the games with like a decent story and actiony would fall under action adventure.
So fucking dumb. So fucking dumb. I'm not remembering why I further don't give a shit about this thing other than the fucking reveals.
Yeah.
This is so fucking pathetic. Like best community support. Like, congratulations, another year where we'll have. Actually, no. this is the 1 year. Oh, where maybe 14 will have fucking competition in Baldur's Gate. Like that's if this is the year that finally Final Fantasy 14 is usurped by Baldur's Gate 3, then we can look forward to Baldur's Gate 3 being on this for the next like 4 or 5
Wait, for
years.
ongoing game or community support?
For community support. Uh, for ongoing game, I think maybe in the coming years we'll see Baldur's Gate 3 there, depending what they do with it. But yeah, fucking I don't know. I really don't have much else to say on any of these other categories. Except for where's the best sim strategy game. Clearly, they were struggling to think of what to put in here because Fire Emblem Engage was on this list, and from everything that I have talked to with other Fire Emblem fans, even Fire Emblem fans didn't fucking like Engage. So
I like that Nintendo is just destroying that category though. Nintendo's like, hey, hold up, strategy boys.
yeah. And hey, there's your Pikmin 4 though. There's your fucking representation for Pikmin, so it's there. Shut up.
And under best family game.
Oh, and it's under, but yeah, so Pikmin didn't get snubbed. Fuck off. Like,
Octopath
that's
Traveler.
representation. Who cares?
Yeah, and then I think did you hear the discourse going around independent games now?
No.
So let me get that in a second, but let me read up some chat stuff. Someone brought this up, but it would have been cool if they added more nominees for Game of the Year, which I think this year warranted it. It could have gone up to 8. Some people still got snubbed, but I think 8 would have been fine. Just acknowledge how crazy of a year it's been. The movies have done that before. Kel said, I wish, or Kel said, I wish horror became mainstream enough to get an entire category for it. I think that's fair. You would have to be nominating a bunch of like pretty wildly obscure horror games, but I think if anything, the exposure would be a reason for them to kind of want to up their game a little bit.
Yeah.
So with indie game, David, what
Yo.
does quote unquote indie mean to you?
A small studio, no large studio backing, aside from maybe just as a publisher strictly.
Yeah, so that's the issue that we have is that independent people would assume is straight up just like alone solo developers. Sure, they get publishing, whatever. Nexon, a small studio in Nexon made Dave the Diver, which is nominated for best indie game. So, and they themselves said we're not indie, but they got nominated for indie, and people began creating the discourse around what is indie, quote unquote. What makes an indie game? Because it's almost like when you think of it, you know what you're thinking of when you hear indie game.
Yeah, because when I think indie, I think like the Stardew Valleys or the Slime Ranches, where it's just like a small group of people to just one person working on something and not really just, and it basically being a passion project that then gets successful, not necessarily something where it's like, oh yeah, here's just a sack of money, go make a small game.
Yeah, and then Kel said, of course, Baldur's Gate 3 can't be in the indie category, or else they clean up. Yeah, so it's you know what you're feeling with that, but games like Dave the Diver also encapsulate that feel when you're playing, and when you think of indie game on top of your head, Dave the Diver is what that is, but it is not an indie game when you think of it as a quote of an independent source. So
Yeah,
people are wondering whether or not that should change to different verbiage, like maybe best non AAA game, best game on that caliber to change. Which there's multiple things to think about that. Is like, yeah, should studios feel recognized for creating a smaller but like still worthwhile experience? Sure. Should they be hampered by the fact that like if it's a small team like split off, like, all right, I don't know, what's the studio? I don't know. I had Naughty Dog. 5 people from Naughty Dog went and made this game. Should not be allowed to be in any category just because five guys made it, just because they had some money backing them. I don't know. But then also that does kind of discredit the fact that people that do that, right? The blood, sweat, and tears that those people also put forward for their game. do they not get recognized now because they do have to compete with the money. So it's this year has actually had a lot of discourse around the term independent because of the nominations this year, including Dave the Diver on that end. I'm not sure if you have anything to say on that end.
Most of the studio themselves outright say we're not indie. That should be the end of the conversation. And at least as far as they're concerned. But it is one of those things that I think it kind of falls into that category of I know it when I see it.
You know what? Best. I think they split this in two categories: best non AAA game, best self published game. Because it's getting too tough, right? Because you look at the best independent game right now. I think literally only Sea of Stars is the one in there that's only self published. Cocoon is published by Annapurna. Dave the Diver's Mint Rocket, which is next on. Dredge is Team 17. Viewfinder is Thunderful Publishing. I don't know. Indie to me is like more of a smaller scale game while also having a small group of people working on it. Yeah, but you can have that by splitting off a pretty big team, right? So it's like, what does that term mean? We know how it feels, but like, does that not count if you split off like 5 people from like a certain team and spin them off and do that? I don't know. Something to think about because I could see that changing in the coming year or two, whether or not that term goes away. But oh well. Best debut indie game, yeah, like best debut indie game, Pizza Tower, Venba are the only two that were self-published. Yep.
Venba's one I still need to check out at some point. That game looks pretty good.
On Game Pass, I believe.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
Hell yeah.
Most anticipated game, David. FF7 Rebirth, Hades 2, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, Tekken 8.
You know, I feel like there's a couple things that honestly are missing here.
Like what?
I
can tell you one that 100% people were complaining about, but I had to tell them why.
I have lost it.
Say what?
I lost what was because I had an example in mind for this, and it is gone from my brain cavity.
The one that people were saying, which you might agree with, was Metaphor.
Oh yeah, that actually was one. I get why it's not there because I know that like fuck all has been said about it aside from them basically confirming, yep, this is a thing still.
Yeah, so someone on Twitter mentioned, like, how the fuck is Metaphor not there? I'm saying more aggressive than they were, but how are they not there? Fucking Persona 5 like is massively raved about, and I mentioned that I forgot about that game, and it just hasn't really been out there yet. Yeah, you mentioned it got mentioned once. There's been no marketing for it because it's still a bit of a ways away, but that's why it wasn't marketed as the most anticipated game. Someone said Hollow Knight Silksong. Yeah, that should have probably been on there. Jesus Christ.
Well, you can't anticipate a game that's vaporwave.
Oh, you know what? It's because it has to have a confirmed date. I think it has to have a confirmed date. I think they just push it off into.
Like, does it?
I think that was their rules. They had to have a confirmed date. Tekken 8, Kel says for them 10,000%.
Yeah. Fucking that. Got the whole cast revealed now, and god damn.
That and Rebirth are your two, right?
Yeah, I those will be two games that, contrary to me not wanting to buy games at release price, I will be getting at release. So
yeah, well, Tekken 8 for sure. That's not happening. Rebirth, I think I'm on board. Even if they aren't launching one, boy, yeah, he says Kel's yeah, right. David, let's segue in then because let's step away from Game Awards. how's Reina looking for you? Because you are a man of
Oh, fucking it.
you are not a committed man.
No, I went into Tekken 8 the same way I have ever since playing Tekken 5, which is all right, where's Asuka, where's Lily? Every Tekken up to this point, it's like, all right, where's Asuka, where's Lily? We got Asuka, we got Lily. I'm like, all right, I'm a happy man. My two mains are there. Perfect. That's all we need. And then they pulled the wool all over my eyes and they introduced a new waifu, the Coffee Queen, Asa Seneca. And then I'm like, all right, no, I'm in. I'm sold. And then with the final character reveal, Harada's like, all right, but what if we basically gave you Jury mixed with Hayachi? And I'm like, you fucking madman, I'm in.
This cast is sick. The cast is sick. Great trailer. I was showing. Like I said, I've been getting my students into Tekken, which is fucking awesome. I love it. One of them knows the Mishimas. Like they play a lot of Kazuya and Smash. They know of Tekken. And so like, you guys see the new Tekken character? They're like, no. And I showed, and I was excited for him to see. I was like, let's just watch this one. You're gonna see something pretty cool. And then as soon as you see the lightning out, I was like, you see that? I saw that. You did see that lightning. And I was like, oh, just wait for the finisher. And then sure enough, I just paused it right where you see, and he's like, wait a second. David, talk about this. So this is someone you're into, so you go off on him.
Yeah, so we got like a barrage of character trailers. We got a lot of old classics kind of back to back. We got then a new character in Chevalier, which was kind of interesting to see. Cyborg Ninja John Wick Frenchman. Weird fucking character for that. But then we got this Reina, which everything about her just screams like a goth punk vibe. And then she just kind of has that dummy mommy energy. And then we start getting a lot of kick combos out of her. We start getting a lot that feels like Hammy and Jury out of her. And then all of a sudden, she's fucking going ahead and summoning lightning strikes. He busts out a fucking Thunder God sweep. He's using Electric God Wind Fists. And it's like, all right, this is someone trained in Mishima style. What the actual fuck is going on here? Which then prompted a lot of people to tweet Harada, which has been one of my favorite things in the last couple days. To be like, so does like Hayachi have like an illegitimate child out there in the world or something? He's like, yeah, he's got like 18 to 25 of them all over the place. Who knows? So I just love that now canonically, because of Harada, there's 18 to 25 illegitimate children of Hayachi all over the world.
Which, like, I believe it. That man sown his seed.
Oh, there's no doubt that man is fucked.
Never used a condom in his life.
There's a reason why Kasumi wanted him dead, and it wasn't because he was too powerful to be left alive. It's because he fucked.
Yes, he did. So where do you think this is going in all of this? So, actually, I don't know if you have chat up real quick. April says, man, I know nothing about Tekken lore, but holy, how many family members does Jin have? Holy. And then Kel says, so that's totally his daughter, right? Nah, bro, that's Noctis. And then he goes, April, one's even a bear. And April says in all caps, what?
Yeah, the bear is his favorite child.
You want to explain that real quick, or do you want to leave it out of context? Because Kel said Ant's favorite child for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. Kuma is Hayachi's favorite child. Yeah, basically, the long and short of that one is one day Hayachi just decided to adopt a bear to train as a bodyguard. And it became like his best friend and became basically his favorite child.
That's it?
Yeah, that's basically the TLDR of that whole thing. The fucking Mishima family tree is a wild journey. There's Kazuya. Somewhere along the way, he wanted Kazuya to have a rival, so that's why he adopted Lee, in order to basically have an inborn rival for him to grow up with. And then somewhere along the way, Kazuya was like cloned, and that's how we get Lars. And there's just like a lot of like weird shit of just adding into the family tree in weird ways. It's a fucking soap opera.
It seems like Tekken lore is more insane than Street Fighter lore. It is.
Yeah, Tekken lore is batshit fucking insane. Absolutely. There is no chill to Tekken. And considering that when Tekken started off, it was just this fun little World Martial Arts tournament. We're gonna have our main hero, Kazuya, be a big shoe fanatic, and he's gonna go ahead and fight his father in this tournament. And then suddenly, surprise, he has the ability to turn into the devil and shoot lasers out of his goddamn face. And there's the spirit of nature that fights in the form of Mokujin. Oh yeah, and the jacks. Every jack is just a new robot made every year. Yoshimitsu is like 4 different characters throughout. Same thing with the kings. The whole legacy of King is wild because you have King, and then you had his rival Armor King, and then King gets killed. Armor King trains up someone else to take over King's spot. Then Armor King gets killed by someone else, and then someone takes over for that Armor King, but then that King and that Armor King hate each other, and then Marduk comes along to get involved. But then you find out that, like, current Armor King may have actually been related to original King, and there's just a lot of weird interrelational dynamics with the
Wow, they don't
wrestlers.
speak English.
No, they only speak in Jaguar noises, except for Marduk. But it's okay because apparently there's just a universal translator that everyone has in Tekken.
Have they ever
Because
explained that part?
No.
I hope they do one day where it's like, yeah, they got that. Hey, Furry says, also, Reina got me down bad.
Fact. Yeah, absolutely. I never thought I would shift away from Asuka or Lily. Azucena made me tempted, but goddamn, Reina is like, nope, commit.
Azucena is still mine. I'm still going with that. But
I think honestly, seeing a lot more footage of her playstyle, I think I would have enjoyed playing her on the side, but she honestly wouldn't have been a main. Reina, seeing her play makes me go, maybe I drop Asuka and I main Lily and Reina.
You want to read Kel's thing?
My headcanon is the Jaguar noises is they're keeping kayfabe. That's right, because wrestling is real. But I like that. That's honestly such a neat little headcanon. I like that idea.
Let's see. I'm going to pull this up real quick.
Also, shoutouts to when like Asuka actually was a plot relevant character for like one game, and that was kind of it.
Now they're just there for the ride.
I mean, it's just weird because again, she is also Jin's cousin. We still haven't like established to what degree she's his cousin, but she's his cousin. She's part of all this Mishima bullshit. Although technically, I think she's on the mother's side. I think she's she's a Kazama. But it's just one of those weird things where it's like, oh man, someone new to this family drama, and instead we're just gonna have her only get lost in these escapades with her angry lesbian lover, and that's all she gets is an angry lesbian frenemy.
We need to make an actual. Someone needs to make an actual updated family tree for everyone. Yeah, these are wild.
Also, pour one out to all the characters that are probably going to be DLC and are not here on the main roster.
Who are the big ones?
Looking at the list here, I had to remind myself who was kind of
mainstay
revealed. Yeah, who was kind of revealed early on. Let's see, because I wish this was just a text list because having to scroll through all the characters.
You just do Wikipedia, right?
Yeah, I mean, I probably could have. Julia is a surprise, honestly.
Yeah, so see, I was forced into a new main anyway this game. Julia and Eddie fucking both got the boot, so I had to go somewhere else.
There's no capoeira representation this time around because we don't even have Lucky Chloe. Everyone's favorite, Lucky Chloe, not back either. So yeah, we got no capoeira character here at all, which is interesting to see because Christy isn't here either. Then we have, let's see, who else was kind of a big one that was missing that was weird. Oh yeah, Lee is missing actually. No, wait, no, that's right. He was towards the end of the reveal, so that's right. No, so he's back.
Hold on, I can do this real quick. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, just fucking try to find. There we go. Goddamn, seeing it all on one thing. I'm surprised. If anything, I'm actually surprised to see Shaheen return. I am glad to see some of the newer characters come back. I am surprised he was one of them to come back though. And Leroy. I'm surprised Leroy came back.
Let's see.
Oh, the fuck, I don't remember her name, but the one of the other DLC characters there, the Polish one.
Marduk's not in here.
Yeah, Marduk's not in here. That's interesting.
Eliza's not
Actually,
in here.
we only have King, and we don't have Armor King either, do we?
Nope.
Yeah.
Eliza's not in here. Gonru's not in here. I obviously Heihachi's not in here, which hurts to see, man.
I mean, I imagine when they finally do Tekken Tag Tournament 3, we'll see him back.
Yeah, Hwoarang is not here.
Oh, no, he is. I see him.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Claudia returned, which was also interesting.
Let's see.
Wait, no, Anna's not here either.
Anna's here.
Is she?
Nina Williams. Oh, no, Anna. No, sorry, yeah.
Nina, but we don't have Anna.
Yeah, Anna's out.
Yeah, once again, Anna being reserved for fucking DLC. But,
let's see.
Still no Roger Jr. Still.
Nope.
Unbelievable.
Gone
is still gone.
Gone, yeah, Gone's gone. Miguel is out.
Yep.
Like, to be fair, like, for all intents and purposes, like they kind of they held true, like, as far as they could for in this game. Who do you think is our first set of like DLC though? Because obviously we're getting returning characters.
I would be genuinely shocked if Anna wasn't in Wave 1 DLC. I do fully expect that. Oh man, that's hard because it depends how many they decide to do for the DLC. Because I have a suspicion that based on how long they supported Tekken 7 for, which fucking shout outs to them for supporting Tekken 7 basically a whole console generation. Fucking A. That's how you do it.
My bad. I scared Kels saying Hwoarang's on there. No, they were there. My bad. Here's what happened is a lot of characters like from A to K to like got dropped. Probably the most because you're talking like Marduk, Eddie, Eliza, so that cut down the list. So when I skimmed through it, I thought they were missing there. Let's see. April says Roger Jr. will never return, David.
It's gonna happen one day. As soon as we get Tekken Tag Tournament 3, it's gonna happen.
You know Eddie's gonna be popping in soon.
No, they'll bring back Lucky Chloe.
Or what's her name? Who was the girl version? Christy?
Christy Montero, yeah.
They'll bring one of them back. But one of them's gonna
I can see Christy, honestly, just because it has been a bit. And that is one thing I will say is they usually do try to kind of rotate the characters a little bit in terms of when they have the same style. So I could see her coming back. Honestly, if they bring back Julia, I know you would not be happy with it, but what I would love to see them do is actually bring back her JC persona.
She keeps flocking back and forth.
I mean, that would also be fun too. Having it actually be like a stance switch where she's just like, suddenly I'm a wrestler again now. But unironically, I think that would actually be a lot of fun is to see JC back, just because I feel like the wrestler archetype is one that's always there, one that doesn't get refreshed really. It's basically just King, Armor King, and then the one refresh we got was Marduk. And then in Tekken Tag Tournament, we got JC as kind of like a joke refresh to it. But I really feel like that archetype could use a real big shakeup.
Also, there's 4 DLC characters confirmed for Wave 1.
4 DLC characters? Alright. So let's make the presumption that there's 3 returning, 1 new.
And it's either gonna be it'll probably be Christy. I can see Christy making it. I like Eddie. And then what do you think, Julia?
Yeah, I like Julia's odds. I will go on the record and make the insane take of it'll be as JC. No, that's what I would wish. Yeah, I could see her being in there. And then honestly, I think they would bring back one of the other prior DLC characters.
Negan.
Just to, yes, Negan will return. But no, I think that we would go ahead and get like I still can't remember her name, but the one that was DLC Lydia, that's it. The one that was the Polish karate person that was in like one of the last waves of DLC. I could see her being in that.
So they're calling it now. We're gonna see Ryu as guest character.
Do you think we see guest characters again this round?
Yeah.
You think they'll keep up with it?
Oh.
Bando. So,
Say again?
Namkai Bando. It is Namkai Bandai, so they probably would. They do like their guest characters.
Who do you think? Let's give up 2. Who do you think are the big 2 guest characters this game? Because they kind of went with like a fighting game crossover theme last time.
I still think they would try to have some other kind of crossover.
I think shows up.
No, absolutely not. I think Arata wants nothing to do with that.
I think if he's able to get the blessing from Kojima, Konami doesn't give a shit. Obviously, they'll be fine with it because they've been putting him out there now. They probably want him to be in there now. If he gets the blessing from Kojima and they put David Hayter in there, I think Snake shows up.
I don't think Harad has any interest in that, unironically.
Okay.
I do think that there would be an attempt to kind of keep getting at least one other thing. That's another kind of fighting game. And
Solid Snake.
I think
he's like Solid Snake or Big Boss.
Big Boss, these nuts. I think we might try to go ahead and get someone from King of Fighters in. I could see like a Terry Bogard.
I was literally thinking about that. Terry would be kind of dope. I think that'd be fun.
I mean, we had Geese, so it only makes sense.
You think we can get Ryu or someone in there?
If they could work things out with Capcom, I think we would probably see a female representation from them this time around. I think we would either Chun-Li or Jury. Honestly, I think we get one of those two.
They're just far too horny for Reina and Jury to be in the same game.
I think it happened.
Too horny.
One of those two.
Jury would be kind of sick. Jury kind of fits the Tekken aesthetic too, which is fun. Can you imagine that though? Jury shows up with purple fucking magic shit too, and everyone's like, "Fucking who the fuck are you now?" We don't need more shit like this.
I mean, then it would make sense because I mean, you bring in Akuma to deal with Hayachi. Who else better to deal with this wannabe goth bitch? Bring in another wannabe goth bitch.
I like the idea that Street Fighter is coming and clean up Tekken shit. Oh man.
Yeah, it would be cool if only just because Capcom still fucking refuses to do anything interesting with Sakura. So I think that could actually be kind of neat and actually have like a proper adult Sakura and to kind of see her as the next generation as Ryu's successor. Maybe one day Capcom will finally have the balls to pull the trigger on that, but that would be actually kind of fun to see. And then maybe one day Sean will also be acknowledged as Ken's successor properly one day. Again, maybe one day Capcom will have. That's, I think that's part of the...
Why they didn't get Game of the Year nominee.
Exactly. No, I think honestly, as we kind of say these things, that like Tekken does a lot of weird shit to ensure some of its cast can go ahead and continue on. You know, Hayachi, Anna, Nina were all like cryogenically frozen for a while so they could be brought back into the future timelines and shit. But it's kind of one of those things that part of the reason I think that I do have such an enduring love of Tekken is because it's not afraid to just fucking shake up its roster left and right. Like it still puts as many people as it can because it also just always has usually a pretty huge fucking roster. But they're never afraid to be like, no, that's a staple character. We have to have them here. There's very few like, no, must be here. They're not afraid to just like, fuck it, age people up, do weird new shit with them, keep fucking trying something different.
Fair.
And I'll have to see it.
Because I think that they would fit really good, the females in the Tekken roster.
Hell yeah.
David, I don't really have much to say about Indie World.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few games on there that look pretty charming. Blade Chroma looks really fun. Excited for that. Otherwise, than that, just looked like an okay time.
Yeah, it was fun. There's some games in there that look good. Going back for a second, Kel said Tekken is good at keeping playstyles too, which I love. We may not have Hachi, but we have 3 characters with moves like him.
Yeah.
I was hoping Kuma would just straight up just been Heihachi clone. Like Kuma just thinks like, all right, my best friend's gone, so I'm gonna take his moves, and just Kuma just becomes Heihachi. I thought that'd be the funniest thing. Kuma main's just going on crazy. Like, where the fuck's my character now? Just Heihachi. That's just the funniest thing to me. But yeah, Indie World was cool. Nothing too crazy. It was that backpack roguelike game that came out there that came out today. I was gonna check that out maybe. Yeah, I'm tired.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's end it there. We like I said, we'll have next week on Monday. We'll have oh shit. Might record Tuesday instead. I think I have a work party to go to Monday. I forget. I'll let you know, David. If we're not here Monday,
right.
We're here Tuesday. Well, we're here Tuesday. Never mind. We are here. Why the fuck am I saying Monday?
Yeah, I was gonna say we're not doing.
You're looking at me like nothing.
Shit.
Yeah, you're looking at me like what the fuck. All right. So either way, it wasn't gonna happen Monday because I have something to do anyway. So next Tuesday we'll talk about games gone by schedule coming up here. We'll reshuffle a little bit, but it will get back on course. All these games will happen. I promise. But this time next week I should have Alan Wake 2 finally done. If I don't, destroy me. That's about it.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hey, everyone in chat, Kels, A Pepperoni, anyone else lurking? Appreciate you guys. You guys take care. Have a good night. David, hit him with the hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. Deuces.
Bye.